Hello everyone, and welcome back to the DreamHack Open Valencia, powered by FACEIT. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. Next to me is our expert, Henry G. Over there, we've tagged in DDK for Anders, and he's joining Semler. So, guys, we're still in a bit of shock about the Virtus.pro results, but on top of that, there is a bit of an elephant in the room. There's a bit of an elephant in the room. A lot of people have noticed that Thorin's not on the desk this time around. And a lot of people have been asking why on social media and stuff. So basically, DreamHack and FACEIT have come together. They feel he's a bit aggressive in his criticism sometimes. He's a bit over the top. And they wanted to bring in someone that's a bit more clean-cut, a bit more family-friendly, a bit more PG-13. And that's why we ended up having Henry on the team. But I think it's only fair we pay tribute to Thorin.
Okay.
You know, I work with him a lot. I got a lot of respect for him. I'm sad about this.
I miss him too, bro.
Yeah, I'm sad about the way this is developed.
Yeah.
So I've left something under your desk, Henry.
For me?
To honor Thorin.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Not that thing.
Yeah, it's just down there, mate.
Where did he go?
So, the thing about NiP is, okay, they're just terrible. And if any of these so-called casters, like Henry D, I believe he's called, ever back them at an event, he's just wrong. He's plain wrong. And if you want me to talk about the American teams, then you're stupider than I thought you were, Richard.
No. This was just pay me. If I have to talk about the North American teams.
And the thing is as well, they're probably all on Adderall. And I'm not even going to talk about them, so that's pretty much it. And thanks for having me. Jesus.
Yeah,
it's quite a lot of hate within that bit,
I
right?
think we just better put that away, mate.
Burn it.
Yeah.
Burn it with fire. Kill it.
I can feel some sort of strange power with that beard. It's quite overwhelming, but I'm back.
We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. But, so... You've
been to the dark side and back, mate.
Right.
Welcome back.
Well, British friendly analysis.
I'm sure Thorin is with us in spirit, because the next game we're going to bring you is NiP versus Liquid, two teams he's been very vocal about in the past, one perhaps more than the other. And it's an interesting kind of position that both teams are in right now. We know they're coming into this tournament not looking great. We saw NiP kind of struggle in the end against TSM after doing quite well, and then they had that little one moment, a flashpoint, changed the complexion of the game. They ended up losing. I thought actually Team Liquid were looking a bit better than they have done in recent events. They took a bunch of rounds off Fnatic. So just while Henry composes himself, I'll ask you guys over here, you know, what do you make of where these teams are positioned right now in this potential matchup?
Well, for me, firstly, with Liquid, they're kind of cool because they do take the criticism, and they have a lot of criticism, and they take it silently. They go back to their states after international events, and they graft hard. They don't make a noise, and they just work hard. However, you know, we're still not seeing huge results from them. We've only seen one best of one this tournament from them so far. It was against Fnatic of all teams on Dust 2, it was 16-9. That's actually the best result they've had against a top Swedish team. So that's, I guess, an improvement from just a round score perspective. But if you actually look at the game, their T-sides look improved, but where they still seem to be having problems is, actually, if we actually look at the Kinguin game, one of the things that why Kinguin could get a 16-0 on Cash against Virtus.pro is because, okay, Virtus.pro kind of fell apart, and they weren't being the usual Virtus.pro we expect, but it's that on Cash you can force the Angel situations. And so this is something NiP are really good at winning, because of course we all know that they're absolute beasts when it comes to the Angels. And this is a point of the CT defense you just have to be able to play. Like we saw that Scream highlight clip, you have to be able to have players that can do stuff like that, lock down the defenses very heavily. And this seems to be where they're often getting overpowered. And some of their CT setups, it looks like they're still looking for the right roles and how to actually play. But their T-sides are looking better from what I saw. A bit more coordination. Their defaults are better as well, at least on Dust 2, but still small sample size to work with.
So exactly, I think that's the main thing. What can we put our finger on then and say this is their prime weakness that NiP are going to look to exploit?
Well, for me, Liquid's thing has always been, I think their approach to early round situations is actually quite good. Like they know what they need to do to get themselves in good contention for the map, especially like on maps like Inferno. Like they can get the mid control, they can push push the CTs back to banana, they can get themselves in a great position to actually execute either a set piece or work up together as 4 men. And it's not the problem of like even getting to the bomb site. It's normally the post-plant situation for them. Like they seem to have problems closing out rounds, like you said before. And for me, that's going to be really interesting to see, especially what maps we see. Like I've casted them a few times, and I've mainly casted them on Dust 2 and Inferno. Whether NiP are going to veto those is going to be interesting. I think that's the only maps I've actually ever casted.
Well, the maps are down there already. It's going to be Dust 2, Cache, Mirage in that order.
Well,
so
we saw them on Dust 2 yesterday,
yeah, kind of in line with what you were.
Well, they took 9 rounds off Fnatic on Dust 2, which is like, I think this is going to be the same situation we saw just now, and the game is gone. If they can find some sort of footing on Dust 2, I think that's going to be their best chance of taking a map. But ultimately, like, we know NiP have problems right now, but I don't think the problems are so bad that they're going to...
They could lose to a Team Liquid.
Pull a victory, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people said they've hit rock bottom after the loss to Flipside out at ESWC. I'm inclined to believe with that. I can't remember a result that's as bad in NiP's recent history, certainly. But I've just had it through on my earphones there that the players are getting ready to go. So I'm going to skip to the part of the show where we talk about predictions. I'll start with you, Dan, on the end and work our way in. How do you think this one's going to go down?
I feel like this should be a pretty simple 2-0 closeout. It feels a shame to not try to put faith in Liquid, but they don't have the best results against NiP historically. Whether there's a psychological impact there or not, whether it's just down to pure play and the styles, how they match up, I feel like it's going to be another crushing 2-0 either way. I don't see it happening for Liquid this time around.
I won't go so far as to say that it's crushing, but I think that adreN and Liquid have had time to review NiP at least, get a little bit of homework done. Yeah. They've been able to prepare for this match. So I don't think it's going to be a crushing victory. I still see NiP winning at 2-0, but I think that Liquid could put up more of a fight than we're used to seeing. So,
just the final thoughts from me. The last 3 times Liquid have played NiP, they've actually gathered a total of 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So, like, if we don't think it's to be crushing, I think that statistic speaks for itself, really. Like, unless, like someone said, they've really done their homework and they've kind of adapted and they've prepared for this game. Who knows what could happen, but I don't see it going any other way. You can't really argue with those
I mean, Team Liquid are confident coming into this one. We saw them hanging out in the Razor Lounge, backstage, and they were saying, we're going to 16-0 them. No problems. So, I mean, I'd argue that's probably not going to happen. There's a bit of bluff and bravado.
I believe you for a second there, mate.
But I think it's going to be a lot closer. They're going to get more than 5 rounds here, no doubt about it. So, anyway, without any further ado, we'll get into the game. Thanks for your thoughts, guys. And, of course, we're going to throw over to the casters now. It's going to be DDK, Semler, and Henry lurking, hopefully without a beard. Take it away, boys.
Now, the real question here, boys, is whether they get more 5 rounds across 3 maps, right? No, that's like 1 map or 3 maps. Which are we aiming for here?
I think the fact that like the last 3 maps they only took 5 rounds, like they've got another 3 here to potentially get more. So we'll see how this goes down. Like I said before, I think Dust 2 is a great starting point for them. Same thing I said about Kinguin. Like when you're the underdog, Dust 2 is the perfect map for you to kind of cause some upsets, especially if you can get an AWP working well as well. Like adreN is a controversial player for me. I actually think he's a good player. I think he's a better rifler than what he is in AWP, but how he'll handle allu is yet to be seen.
Exactly. I think that's the big question right now. Allu, I'm going to put allu above adreN every single day of the week, right? There's never going to be a question there. So, unlike Kinguin, where they can rely on 3 operas essentially, Michael, Lele, Dennis, and Fox, I don't really see it being there for Liquid. So it's going to have to be rifles for them. They're going to have to be quick on their feet and try and catch NiP off guard. DDK, what do you think so far starting on this half?
This is actually really cool because Liquid, what they're doing right now is playing against the meta, which is also something, the way that they play the CT pistols very aggressively down catwalk. They've actually gone very defensive because Liquid want to get a pick early into the round. They want to exploit aggression in the current meta from NiP. NiP not going with the full aggression, but we're finally going to see now the movement from Liquid straight into long, and this is going to be where the real battle is. Could potentially be one hit. If GetRight gets a couple kills right there from pit, it could be problematic here for Liquid. Here they go.
Yeah, and it comes down to whether they can actually establish this crossfire, and it's working out so far. Allu only getting the 1, but there's the headshot, and he actually manages to pick out 2 kills, stay alive as well. This is buying so much time for NiP, and there's the reinforcements rolling in. Forrest there to lend him a hand. He's going to pick up 1, and basically perfection there at the end. The fact that NiP are able to play long so well and establish those crossfires.
Yeah, for me, like Dan said, they're playing against the meta there. Like most teams, especially on Dust 2, you look at what spawn you can get, you get up armor, and then you choose somewhere to go out fast. So you either take the B spawn, go out middle, maybe out short. The idea is you stick together. And it seemed like the approach they went for, taking long towards mid to late round, was completely wrong for me. Like I don't really think you have to do that. Just relying on Glock armor itself is more than viable, and it was an interesting approach from them, to be honest.
Nice spray from Forrest there with the UMP as well to do some damage to flowsicK, who was trying to go down suicide. And well, now life gets a little bit tricky here for Team Liquid. They are going to try and go for the all-out aggression. It seems they have gone for the pistol armor buy, which we do see teams favor these days.
We are going to see, of course, Liquid moving up catwalk, just trying to peek around, just get some pokes going, get the information, see if they can get a quick dink on one of these players from NiP. But NiP playing it very passively at the moment. They know that Liquid has catwalk. They're allowing them to make a decision. They've got players all over the place, so they should be well equipped to deal with more or less anything. And of course, they've got 2 players directly on the bomb side, somebody with information for NiP on long. So right now, it's all about what Liquid decide to go for and how strong NiP's reaction can be. We know that they are looking quite good on the weapons, so this is going to have to be pretty strong from Liquid. And Forest already dancing, doing the dance by the double doors. And still, Liquid yet to make a move. They really want NiP to go to them.
It's going to be the clash on the A site right now. That's what it's all going to boil down to. They want to make sure that they get within lethal range with the pistols, but then this also works out for NiP, who have the MP7s, who have the UMPs. They want to get close and ugly as well. But FugLy and EliGE both picking up frags, and there's EliGE double shot for him, picking up 2 kills and opening up this bomb site.
And here we go, we got Geralt making his way up now, so they have actually taken the bomb site. In he goes though, with that, he's going to be able to take down a couple kills, and here it is, Friberg cleaning up as well. 1 player less, 7 HP for FugLy. Friberg turning the corner, he can't quite get it done, has to switch to the pistol. There's no health on FugLy, just 1 bullet will do it. Friberg will get the kill, but significant damage done. A bomb plant, Liquid surely couldn't be happier with that one.
Yeah, well, to be honest, the fact it came down to a one-on-one situation, they're going to be questioning like whether they could have actually taken that one. That was actually really nice from Liquid. They actually assessed the map and got some map control, and then managed to get the bomb down as well.
No, that's an exactly ideal situation, no doubt about it, for Team Liquid. It kind of clashes for both. That's when NiP really wished that they actually had some rifles to have a little bit more punch to be able to take the range battle, because when you have to get up close versus Tech 9s, that's like the last place you want to be. You want to try and take a range duel. You don't want to be getting within that headshot range. As we saw, EliGE picking up 2 kills and opening up that site. And now we just have the straight-up rush YOLO here from Team Liquid, straight onto the B site. Not much money invested in this round, so they're just looking to get a bomb plant out of it. If they could get one, this would be big, but Friberg holding the line with that Tech 9! And this is now just going to shape up to be a solid situation for NiP.
That was almost too clean. Almost too clean there. And it kind of sucks because they did so well in the previous round getting so much damage in, but of course they decided, I think if we had I don't know if it's ever good to invoke EnVyUs as an example anymore.
This was actually an ace by Friberg, if I'm not mistaken. I think Forest actually stole the last one.
Well, now is where the game begins. So it'll be interesting to see where adreN goes with this. And has he got the AWP? No, he has got 5 rifles, which I actually like from this. I think that they work better as a unit, killing together. Like you said, I don't think adreN will ever beat allu in a one-on-one battle, but this is interesting. Allu actually going for some early round information. This is good from NiP. We don't really see him doing that often, especially on the beginning round.
That was a nice nade onto EliGE. That's going to ring his bells, drops him down to 55. Now it gets kind of fun here. What is it?
Yeah, a bit of a passive opening. Again, Liquid just running a default here, so expect to take catwalk and try to get some info on mid, but Forest is actually able to take a frag with the M4 through the doubles, and I love this. He's going to fall back onto B. They're going to play passively now. And right now, if Liquid would go for that play on mid to get the info, actually the B split becomes stronger here because the rotation's so far away. And NiP, they're going for aggression through upper dock. They are going to sandwich Liquid before they can even get going. This could be devastating. Forest leading that push down into lower dark. Oh, he's going to get almost a free one there onto flowsicK. And again, falling back, get right now, taking liberties, picking up a quick kill after a pop flash from a teammate. NiP are picking them apart before they even get to make a decision.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty here at all. Allu's now got the angle. He does get shoulder baited out there, so that was a nice play on Team Liquid's part, but it is so little, so late into the round. Only 30 seconds left for them to actually get onto this bomb site and get the bomb plant. And Allu, all he has to do is just keep playing like this. Keep drawing them out. Yep. Maybe get a kill or 2. That also helps, but buy the time for his teammates to rotate in, and they just lock down that round. No problem at all, NiP.
What was so good about that was the fact that NiP got the opening round, the opening kill of the round. Like Forest getting that pick in the B, and instead of holding back and falling back to the bomb sites, they knew that the T's had to react to it. They pushed the upper B tunnels, got all that information. Is so valuable. You can tell your team exactly what's going on. Managed to get the pick in lower B, and that sandwich effect was so strong, and it really locked them down. That's really the 4th round in a row for NiP. He's going to force a questionable force by. I think they've got 2 PT-50s with armor, that's correct, and then this should be quite a throwaway round, but we can see flowsicK actually picking up the first frag there. Yeah,
and Allu is also watching that M4. He needs to be keeping an eye on that. Can't really let them walk around for free. GetRight's going to take the MP9, however, and put that to good use. FugLy is gone. There's still a man alive on Cat right now for Team Liquid. He could actually try and spring a little bit of a trap. We'll see if it's effective as Friberg holds down Mouse 1 and double sprays. Well, the 2 players who are trying to make an exit onto that B site. But a good recovery there from NiP after Xizt, and his aggression didn't really pan out for them. One
of the interesting things about that push up a dock is that typically you wouldn't see that, I think. I don't think that NiP would do that against Fnatic, because you've taken an advantage right early in the round. That's actually awesome already. But then you went with another aggression. Of course, if no one is there, you win the round. But if you actually die there, you give up your advantage.
It's the lack of respect, I guess. So they're showing that they do this a lot when they're playing lesser teams, especially like we've seen them play Gfinity against Liquid on Inferno. They're doing exactly the same thing.
This is why they can crush Liquid in the past, but Fnatic have a harder time.
Yeah.
I like this change of like the change of position here as well with the NOA tower. Instead of holding close and just looking headshot box, trying to get up onto short, they're going to try and basically open up that angle a little bit, maybe try and get that headshot itself. No joy there. Good spray, doing a little bit of damage to Nitro and EliGE, but not too much here for NiP. The return, however, is crucial. Friberg takes out a man. Headshot on Nitro to get that man advantage for NiP.
Yeah, we can see right now, again, it's Liquid just running the defaults. I do really enjoy the fact that they've got their default set up. NiP, though, they've been throwing in wrenches constantly, but there we go. We get something done by adreN. He's going to get a pick into mid. Of course, Forest has been taking loads of liberties there. With all the peaks, finally, there's a punish. Friberg goes down, and now it's a 4-on-4 situation. However, Liquid, they still have some time to use, and they're all spread out. They're moving the bomb towards upper dark. We can see Forest is doing B alone, right in the corner there. Very, very close engagement. He's committed there. If they go for the push, he's got to get multiple kills here for NiP to have a strong advantage into the retake. It's all going to be on Forest here for NiP as Liquid move in, and adreN gets a pick for free. This should be pretty good here for Liquid. Yeah,
they even managed to slow down Xizt as well on that rotation, so no idea why Forest would decide to pick. He just needed to hold that situation there. Just not going to pan out for him at all as Xizt tries to put the spray in there. Man advantage here for Team Liquid going into the bomb plant. Although GetRight does pick off EliGE. He was holding, looking for the rotate kill. So a 3-on-3 situation here for NiP going into it. And they all have kits, they all have time. They just don't really have nades to work with. So it's going to come down to the shots. And adreN lands a perfect one onto GetRight.
And here they go. They're trying to make something work here, but allu's in an almost impossible situation if it gets played correctly. He even gets a tag there. That was a very nice shot. And wow, allu is not done with these Liquid players. He wants to get more, but he will not get anything more than just one frag there. But yeah, really nice play. I think that kill on Friberg really destabilized the round completely.
Credit where credit is due. We always say adreN doesn't have that much impact with the AWP, and that time he actually got 3 really valuable frags. We have to question what Forest is doing facing the B tunnels. There was 29 seconds remaining on the clock. He gave them that kill. He didn't make them work for it. As soon as they get that kill, they know they can get into the bomb site, and that the clock is not even a factor at that point. So Forest, for me, kind of let NiP down. That we know he can make those frags, but unfortunately faced a little bit too early.
Yeah, that's the main question right there, especially because Xizt was so far away. Yeah. So he's the only line of defense there for NiP to keep Team Liquid out of that bomb site. Especially with Team Liquid, I mean, with adreN being able to take off Friberg early, they have to know that something awkward's going to be happening for NiP because he's usually a B-man. So FugLy, clever spot. This is interesting. They want GetRight to start pushing again. They're like, okay, GetRight, if you're going to play aggro, we're going to get a kill out of this.
And a lot of people actually wait inside, just in front of the smoke as the CTs, and you'd actually spot that. So that's really nice stuff there from Liquid trying to abuse the meta a little bit. But no one's standing behind that smoke just yet for NiP. They have 2 players on long, actually, which is quite late into the round to have 2 players on long still. So if there was to be an A split that had maybe 3 players or more towards long, NiP are well set up against that, but Liquid yet to make a decision. The thing for me with Liquid is they're not actually getting information in middle at all, so they don't know what setup NiP are running, and that could hurt them, because now they're kind of going in blind. Where's the information for them? Yeah, this is the thing. They need to work out where allu is at the start of the round. He's going to be the linchpin on this A-bomb side.
Shots already going through, and they've got that bomb in upper dark, so that kind of tells you where Team Liquid want to take this, especially given there's 30 seconds left. But Forest double kill for him on B slope, and he's going to get overwhelmed by FugLy in the end, but still, man advantage here, and that leaves Friberg still alive, holding the site itself. Going to take that peek, they missed a shot, they line up for him on top of it all, and now he's got the bomb to work with. FugLy alone takes the fight, but he does not win it versus Xizt. So a 6-1 scoreline here for NiP, and Team Liquid just get hard reset.
Yeah, that is the round they didn't want to lose. Obviously, when you win one, you lose the concurrent one after that, all money gets reset. I wanted to actually mention that drop-down strat that Liquid run. It actually can be really effective. Unfortunately, when you drop down, if you don't make any kills, it kind of rings alarm bells exactly what's going on. And when you've got a player like Forest holding middle, like unless you're actually a better player than him, he's going to beat you every single time. There didn't seem to be any sort of utility used against him. It was just clean frags, and Friberg getting the easy spray down on 2 guys lined up for him.
Yeah, we see a double AWP now, so this is actually quite interesting because, of course, this changes the CT dynamic quite a lot. So when Liquid next get their buy, if they're looking for the picking game, NiP should shut them down pretty hard. Usually, I mean, the response to double AWP or CT can often be double AWP of your own. We see that happen. Like, watch any NiP Fnatic game and you'll see it every time.
Yeah. This is when I think NiP are their strongest, though. As soon as Forest gets that AWP and B, it allows them to pit 2 rifles in middle, and it completely shuts down these mid to B spreads.
I'm surprised that Xizt wants to go for this push up mid, though. He will get the double spray, but he needs to back out. Dude. Yeah, it is just that, really. He's like, okay, gonna take this fight, no problem at all. P250 headshot, though, that'll do the trick. And now EliGE hanging around. He's gonna be able to get that flash on to GetRight. They line up for him, and that's gonna change everything. Now he's actually got a gun to work with. He gets 3 kills out of that situation. So as far as the eco is concerned, he's just done the damage.
Yeah, they just bought 2 AWPs. That's incredible damage indeed. So despite getting reset, as Henry pointed out, it's still really nice. And they're actually afraid to lose more value here. And they're going to lose more.
They take the peek. Why do they peek?
No idea. That's absolutely crazy. Like, make him plan. He has to work for it. He's got an AWP, but here we go. One-on-one situation.
1v5 clutch. Could it be possible? I mean, EliGE now, he could get into position for this. Do they have a nade? They have a double flash and a smoke on Forest, so not ideal, but he does have the M4. There's a single point of HP. We've seen it once today, but it's not meant to be. No repeating it this time around. Forest will come through in the end for NiP, but yeah, they lose one up. They only have one guy, so this is such an expensive round for NiP. Yeah. And all of this going off of, again, Xizt pushing top mid like that, the lack of respect.
Fair enough, he got 2 frags, but then at that point, that's when you think, okay, guys, we still need to win it. This is the moment. Like, why are there 2 guys pushing long? Like, we know there's 1 guy left, he's got the bomb. Just make him work for it. Like, he's got 2 options there. He has to save and do nothing, but they're giving him 3 frags there and almost won the round. Like, if he'd somehow got the angle on Forest, that could have been devastating. So here we go. The duel setup is back out for NiP, and we can see adreN, who is the only real impact player on the round they won. He's not going to have the AWP. So a faster round coming in now.
Yeah, but good flashes, and yeah, a very quick take on long here. Team Liquid just wanting to power through, but Friberg there to take out flowsicK. That's an aggressive push into upper dark, so NiP with their own answer. GetRight just blazes through. Double flash for him, 2 kills. He will get overwhelmed by FugLy in the end.
That is actually incredible. Fast round responded by a fast round from NiP, just the way to do it. And Nitro and FugLy now are against a pretty intimidating force sat up on that A-bomb side, including the AWP in the hands, value no less. Forest is working his AWP onto them as well. Now FugLy is just pinned down in the pit area. Not much hope for anything here, and NiP are going to go in and try to just crush him straight away. They don't want any surviving players, and FugLy's trying everything he can to get the damage done. And NiP, they've been losing a lot of players, so they have to be careful with their money here.
He nearly pulled that off as well.
Yeah, that could have gone crazy bad for them, but like that round it's so difficult to analyze because GetRight shouldn't really be getting away with this play. Like, he was running through smoke, like by himself, this kind of taking down, was it 3 players he got in the end? Or 2? But that is the end of the round for them straight away. And now it looks like Liquid just don't have any sort of answer now. They push back onto another eco. I think they need to get the AWP back out, work out where the players are, and then they need to be getting the picks. It seems like the set play here is not really working in their favor whatsoever. When a team's so aggressive and locking you down like that, you need to just wait and try to wait for the pushes to come to you.
Something to note actually about taking long like that against double AWP, it's actually really strong because then if you set up an A-split later on, then the AWPers have way less places to stand. You can get right up close to them, and it's very effective. We're going to see, of course, the cleanup in this round is pretty standard here for NiP. They're going to make some bank in this round, but 9-1 is an intimidating scoreline for Liquid to go up against, and in with another buy. AWP on adreN. He really needs to win a duel here. Like
I said before, the only round they actually won was when he got 3 picks. So this is a good call from them. It worked before. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if NiP went for a mid-face here. They've got that momentum and that aggression going for them. Like, we'll see how this goes down.
2 go across. They could set it up here. Still a man waiting with that AWP, but they aren't going to go for the challenge at all. It's going to be a smoke, and Xizt is going to back off, bolster that defense on the A site. NiP just not giving anything to Liquid in this key round.
So one thing I'd really like to see is them playing for that information on mid, because if they're able to find that, okay, now there's no one really close to CT, then they can go and snap in a play. They know there's double AWP, a fast execute with a good solid split with the right nades in the right places, coordination. That's all it takes. And for one of the NiP players, either Forest or allu, just to miss a shot, and that can be game over in the defense. But Liquid keep taking it slow, and NiP are starting to just, they can work their game on them.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure out where allu's playing from. I mean, he is still holding at cars, looking towards catwalk, patient, not moving, just waiting for that target to present itself, and that's the key position right there for locking down A. And it does look like Team Liquid, at least for now, have in mind, they want to go up cat. They've got 4 players gathered up, the smokes are going down, and now begins the push, and allu, he does get flashed, but he is still going to be able to take these peeks. Instead, he actually chooses to focus on long, and Nitro's going to take out Xizt, who tried to come through CT.
Looking pretty interesting right now because Liquid are actually gaining some position. They're getting some frags despite we're seeing a lot of damage. The bomb is going to be planted there as well on the A-bomb site. We have FugLy with a quick flank there, able to easily take down Friberg. And now NiP are at a man disadvantage. Allu's back up on the slope with the AWP. He's got his comrade GetRight with the P90 as well with him. And Allu's going to get caught in the side there. Not the killing blows here, but can Nitro finish him off just barely in time with the headshot? But GetRight gets the trade. P90 going for this play against the AK. This is so difficult at the moment, at this range. FugLy has such an advantage. GetRight's just waiting patiently. Can he make it happen? No! It will be another round for FugLy. Just barely Liquid will pull through.
Yeah, what I like about that round from Liquid is when you are facing an AWP on the A site, if you're able to smoke off CT spawn and drop down into the half pipe and really challenge him head to head, that works so well. If you can like make allu miss his first shot, and the fact Xizt had the force to be pushed through the smoke and he got taken down, that was so vital. Like the fact he came down to a one-on-one situation again was kind of nail biting there. But Team Liquid, credit where credit is due. They've got the second round on the board. This is the moment now. They can't afford to lose anymore. Like a team, the way NiP are playing right now, they can't lose any more rounds. They need to get some momentum of their own.
This is insane. NiP also just completely giving up the B site right now. Liquid have no idea, but there were 4 people gathered up in Upper Dark. They could have walked out onto that bomb site for free. Instead, NiP going to set up for the flash through, but the perfect timing there for the smoke to go down for Liquid to stop that aggression. A good follow-up made, catching Nitro and adreN. And right now, NiP, they managed to escape that tricky bit.
I actually like what NiP did there, because they actually gave a bit of respect to Liquid. They said, okay, we know that you're taking cat every round. Before, we're like fine just defending, giving it to you, but now we're actually a little bit afraid. We want to do some damage before you actually get to do an execute, because maybe it can work. And EliGE is going to pick up a frag on the forest. This could open up the round with a good mid-round call here from Liquid. And Xizt is going in for the response, but can he hold?
Oh, nice flash, but then counter flashes come out. Team Liquid still able to push in. There is a flank coming in from Friberg, but he only trades 1 for 1, and Xizt has been smoked off. He's thinking about going through it, and he will get that timing down just right. Pop flash not effective, and Xizt will be able to take out EliGE, bringing it back to a 3-on-3. Bomb just now getting planted here for Team Liquid.
Bomb has been planted.
Here he goes. Happening right now, probably in a good position by the crane. He's got an excellent angle on these CTs incoming. Get right with the double boost straight away. And now flowsicK with that bomb ticking away. He's got to go in. His get right is being covered there. Oh, allu's going to actually go down, but Gary's got plenty of time. So very well played there with the just basic cover play. But Liquid again getting the bomb down. Yep. But still, it's looking it's just coming down to the clutches.
This is exactly what I touched on before. That was actually the perfect decision from them, to actually get that kill in middle and bail out together, getting smokes down CT spawn. They got into the bomb side, but it's a post-plant situation. They don't seem to have the crossfire. It's all a lot of one-on-one situations. It doesn't seem to be any sort of chemistry in that point. But there we go, 10-2 in favor of NiP Gaming, and now again, reset, back to EliGE.
Yeah, that's the main issue here. Every time Team Liquid are able to pick up a round, and then Forrest, they know exactly what's going on. He's just going to go ahead and collect some frags. Triple kill for him, no problem at all. Doesn't even care if they pick up that M4.
So a quick point here that I've noticed about Liquid's T side here. So one thing, first of all, we spotted their default. It looks good, but they never take information properly. Yeah. Secondly, what they've done every single time from that cat play, if they get a pick in mid, B play. If there's no pick, they execute every time. Yep. That's happened every time. They're doing this against Fnatic as well, because they're not able to be proactive. And it's like, okay, well guys, nothing's happened. Let's execute on A. So I wonder if NiP are picking up on this yet.
Yeah, they kind of look like they're out of options at this point. 2 rounds left. They have got the AWP out again. For me, I think I like the idea of them taking long again and taking that control off them. They just need to make sure that Get Right doesn't run through smoke and kill like 3 people. Get control of one part of the map first, and then go into an execute onto A. Like they've been going, like you said, they go up to short, but like they haven't locked anywhere else down on the map. So it's very easy to read what's going on. Oh,
look at this. Forrest actually going for push into Upper Dark behind them as well. Team Liquid could get completely caught off guard by this. He steps forward and he loses the duel to flowsicK. That was key. flowsicK going to be able to trade up for that M4. Luckily, Friberg is here to patch things up, and he is actually going to go for some aggression of his own. Pop flash turns away, gets spotted though, and a double kill for flowsicK to open up that B site.
So this is actually looking pretty fantastic for Liquid. They could very well get the 3rd round here. I should hope that they would from this position. Yeah. Get Right, of course, will make his way in. He's got allu once again to play with on the retake. But, well, this is going to take nothing less than stellar play from Gary. He's going to pop flash himself in. Nitro will take him down. No shenanigans. It's just allu left here for NiP. And he hasn't got much other than a hope and a prayer to work with. Except, well, he's got an AWP as well, but it's definitely looking rather labored at this point. Just looking for that angle. And, of course, Liquid, they're not going to peek. They saw the Virtus.pro game earlier today, and they've been freshly reminded that, yes,
it can happen.
It can happen.
And it will happen.
And, I mean, Liquid are a team, I think, as well, that respect good fundamentals. Even if they're having to refocus on it, they are getting better fundamentally. We saw at the last FACEIT LAN, they're actually losing to Crims, I think, on Mirage with a similar clutch to what Rain got previously today.
Well, the thing for me is that they're finally punishing these audacious pushes all over the map. They're like killing 2 people before a frags exchange. That's exactly what they need to be doing. Hold back, just run the timer down a little bit more. We know NiP are doing this, sorry. If you pick up that initial frag, then the map is yours and you can do whatever you like. So that worked perfectly for them. If NiP are being so crazy and being so aggressive, that's what they need to do.
Double aggro into Upper Dark once again, though. NiP, they aren't going to change it up. They have such a huge lead. I think that's the main thing here, is that Team Liquid...
Nothing to lose.
They can try, exactly, they can try and play however they want, but NiP, they're already ahead, huge. So 1-for-1 trade over on the A site. They do manage to clear out Long a little bit here, but Team Liquid currently pushing up Cat. Good flash by Friberg, not spotting any targets though. He will spot the one, trying to find that headshot, and the flank is coming in from his teammates. So all he needs to do is stay alive, and Forrest right on the edge. Not gonna be able to get that kill, what?
Oh my god, that looks so awkward. And flowsicK going to spot him as well. He's pretty screwed at this point. So it looks like another round for Liquid. Although, that said, Forrest is going to pick up the frag. And hey, we've still got allu left alive. He's taking heavy damage here towards Long. He's finally going to be dropped. And Forrest in with the last ditch attempt here. The Hail Mary for NiP. Can't count him out, but this time it's not going to happen. So 11-4.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm seeing a lot of issues here with Liquid's T side.
It's just too late to adapt. That was the whole thing. Like, it took them about 7 rounds before they even realized how they could shut that down. It's just by holding, waiting for the pushes to come in, and they were getting kills at that point. So unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. When you're against a team like NiP, you know this is where NiP like really flourish. They know they're playing against a team that they're better at individually. Yep. They can actually lock them down. It's the top tier teams they struggle against when they need to evolve, because they don't have the strategy to take them down when they have players that are equal or greater skill to them.
It's the confidence, man. That's what it all comes down to at this point. You just very clearly described it. They're not confident against the top, but they're going to be confident against a team like Liquid, who just cannot seem to be pick up any results on land. So we go into the pistol round now. 4 rounds here for Team Liquid, going on to that CT side, and perhaps now they'll actually be able to stand their ground and land some shots. Allu trying to draw attention mid, but it is NiP currently gathering up to take control of Long.
Yeah, here we go. Forrest in, the first man, as Liquid now has some information, but the open angels will definitely be very nice for NiP having more numbers, and also Forrest on your side. Nitro pop flashed in. Here he goes. He could go huge here. There are 3 quick kills. Nitro has done it now. Massive advantage for Liquid. But still, there is allu and Get Right to contest with. And there's allu 1 versus 2. This is looking pretty bad right now for NiP.
Yeah, this is not looking good at all. There's even a man on that A site to deny the plant if it were to come through. flowsicK's going to be able to pick up that kill on allu, and mid-air, Get Right, just ejected.
Finally, a bit of individual magic from Liquid there. Nitro really stepping up the perfect play. Like NiP doing the pistol round I kind of suggested Liquid should do, just Glock up, go together in one place. And this play from him, like that flash he did was so fantastic. And actually, calmly and clinically picked off the kills there, picked up a 4-man, and that was really good for him. It's obviously exactly what they needed. And hopefully that'll give him a bit more confidence. We know he's the star player of Liquid, and he's going to need to be the one who actually picks up some of the slack.
Yeah, and so this is going to be a bit of a bop on the nose here for NiP. We'll see if they can try and recover here, because they do go for the pistol armor buy, investing full. Not even allu saving anything at all. He's going to have a PT-50 and full Kevlar helmet, so it's going to come down to whether NiP can land some headshots here, and they are going to be able to overwhelm EliGE early on. Get Right catches out flowsicK, and this is just falling apart. FugLy will get a kill onto Xizt, but then already Forrest ready and waiting, looking for that peekaboo. He's going to spot the second man as well, and Nitro only going to be able to trade 1 for 1. But the bomb has been planted on the A site, and they hold their ground, NiP.
Yeah, it can still be done here for Liquid, but heavy damage has been done. Liquid had a round like this on their T side as well towards NiP, but NiP are actually going to win it. That is really, really devastating. They are going to get reset straight away. This is actually the best economical position you can ever start a half from.
It's actually turned out better for NiP than winning the pistol right now, because here we go. So NiP picking up...
Force buy. Yep.
Oh, they're actually going for it.
They have to. They have to, but this is like the hardest map to actually win forces as a CT as well. It's so awkward. And the funny thing as well, Liquid actually pushed Upper Dark, which in of itself is risky against a force buying team. They pushed Upper Dark. They had the information super early, but still they struggled there. And this is the problem. NiP on offense are scary.
Is that someone AFK in CT spawn? Is he not moving?
He's just trying to hold that angle, it looks like. Get Right with one of the longest sprays in the history of sprays, manages to take out adreN, and that leaves allu. He takes out Dennis, and we're kind of just going to read down the list here, because NiP really should just be able to completely run over Team Liquid at this point. Team Liquid, they picked up the pistol, but losing that second round is pretty much going to shatter any kind of confidence they had going for them.
5 rounds is kind of an improvement, guys.
They've hit the magic 5.
They've hit the 5.
Yeah.
Number 5.
They can only go up from here. Or can they?
What up now, Swedes?
This is the point you bring a pause in, right? You need to work out what you're going to do. You need to bring a surprise buy round into the tees. You need to be setting the pace, like allu did in the first gun of them, getting the AWP up on short, going for the first pick. They can't allow NiP to have all the freedom to do what they want. So this next one's going to be very important. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pause coming in this round.
One of the reasons why I think this is actually a very bad map for Liquid to start on is that when it comes to NiP's T side, you mentioned about being, if Liquid could prepare for them. NiP just play a good basic game on this map. I don't think you can really, unless you're just a good Dust2 team that can deal with the basics and you can have the individual skill to just win some of the aim drills, which are always going to happen, then you're just going to struggle. I don't think you can prepare against NiP on a map like this. So I would struggle to see Liquid come back from this position, because the fragile CT economy, that's one of the hardest things about CT Dust2, is keeping that stable, keeping your AWPs coming. And, well, even when the AWP is delivered into the hands of adreN, as we know it will be when they have the cash to do it, are they going to be able to deliver themselves from the clutches of the Swedes?
I don't know.
This is exactly what I said about VP picking Dust2 against Kinguin. Like, it's such a naturally skilled map. It all comes down to the individual plays. Like, there's only so much you can do tactically. And it just seems like there's NiP are just forcing that and pushing into every area, out-aiming them. There doesn't seem to be any sort of care. Yep. And you can see, like, it's just so cool there. Like, nothing's going on.
Well, that's the main thing right here that we really have to touch on. And NiP aren't doing anything really different in the initial setup and how they're going for it. Like CT side, it's just standard as could be NiP. It's just the fact that NiP tilted on they don't need to worry about Team Liquid. They can go for these aggressive pushes. So Team Liquid, they can't even really adjust to that at all.
And this is a classic Liquid as well. They will do a lot of short boosts in these situations where they're on terrible buys. Sorry to cut you off there.
No. I mean, what are you going to do? The thing is, like, you can try and predict what NiP are going to go for, but then NiP are just going to brutalize you.
Okay, so one thing that Cloud9 started doing, and they actually picked up on this, which is really good, because I've got some trash time to talk here, is essentially in a spot like this, there's two options. If you have let's say you get the famous buy that they're going to have eventually, you have that terrible buy, low buy, because you forced up. Now you're in a situation where you want to do something to get an advantage, because you're at an innate disadvantage having a worse buy as a CT. So usually teams will react with a boost or something like that onto Catwalk. Team Liquid do this almost all the time. They'll get the FAMASs, they'll boost them all up, short. But what TSM started a trend of doing is actually to play it defensively and try to trick your opponents who play good Counter-Strike. The teams that go for the mid information, they'll see that there's no one in Catwalk. You've put, no one in CT who's come down from A, so you're thinking there's 3 guys on A and there's 2 guys on B. But TSM always hide an extra guy in B, and then they trick you into moving into a B split where they have an advantage. So hopefully we can see stuff like that from Liquid, but it's 14-5, and NiP are looking at closing this one out quickly.
We're seeing very default stuff from Liquid right now, at least. 3 guys to long early, the 1 man setting up with the flash. Now EliGE wraps back into CT. So it's a 2-1-2 setup, although Nitro in a bit of a tricky spot here, holding a car on the B site. We'll see if he has any success with that. They have managed to sneak 1 man out onto the edge, and FugLy, he does get tagged down fairly low right off the bat. So the good pressure here early on by NiP, but not really going to see it pan out, although they do manage to trade 1 for 1, and NiP taking a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, this is definitely looking quite interesting here for Liquid. They have some opportunities, but the bomb is in the B bomb site, and more frags are being claimed by allu of NiP. It's just adreN. flowsicK left, but allu is making quick work of them.
Yeah, like when they had the force buy with no orbs whatsoever, like my advice was going to be they can run a dual orb setup. They may have a chance of locking it down and getting some momentum up, but the economy is just so battered. Like, there's nothing really they can do to get back into this. Now 15-5. It's going to be another force buy, and I think this one is as good as over. I think it goes without saying. You can see the money there. They have to do another like 5-7/famous buy here. Dual orbs coming in, Forest and allu. This is kind of done.
All right, short boost. Let's see if we get the short boost.
Yeah.
They love doing it. I don't know if they still do it all the time, but they often would do this in a spot like this.
It looks like more default.
Okay, more default.
And to me, this is also just the issue with Team Liquid, is that they're just freezing up. Like, things are not going their way. They're seeing history repeat itself, and so I think they just lock up, basically. They stop seeing the options that are there that they could go for to change their game. It's all by rote. They just keep hoping for different results.
I think if we ignore their CT side completely, because if this game was 100% lost on the T side, for their T side, that's where, like, that's what, if they go back into the demos, that's what they have to go and look at. Okay, where did it go wrong on the T side? For me, it's just they don't develop the default properly, because defaults are about finding info to then find the best play to make. And in some of the infos, like let's say going in for those mid picks or mid plays with the pop flash, you're trying to make it safe. Maybe you get a pick in mid then, and things can happen
This is
for
the
you.
whole argument of NiP right now. Like they have, you need to have the hybrid of the strategy and the map control. You can't just go straight into set pieces, and that's something NiP are amazing at getting the map control, but if they're getting locked down in the frags, they needed something to fall back onto generally in terms of strategy. Liquid seem to be the other way around. They don't seem to be getting the map control, but they obviously have some sort of idea what they need to do to get onto the bomb sites. But unfortunately, they're getting pushed all over the place. They don't even have a chance to execute.
And that was a sick play there by adreN, though. That's the kind of tricky stuff that they need to be pulling off. Team Liquid boosting him up in mid, looking over the smoke at doors, managing to pick up a kill top mid. That is fantastic. But now NiP, they go with that and they run. They go straight onto the A side, not wasting any time. Straight up cat looking for the headshot, and they're not going to find it. Finally, Friberg is able to spray him down. EliGE not able to hold, and 2 kills for Friberg, making the difference, bringing it back to a 3-on-3.
There we go. Xizt in a perfect position now, and it's a 2-on-1 situation. flowsicK, the last man, and I think this might be all she wrote for this one.
This is actually looking very hard for flowsicK indeed. He's going to go down 16-6. I have to credit NiP there. They made a super smart, really fast gut call, because when there's an AWPer in mid, because you don't necessarily know the AWPer's playing, catwalk can be actually very open. We saw that Friberg gets an open Angel against a Liquid player who's probably feeling a bit down on his luck. That is so smart for Friberg to just go for it straight away, and that just won them the round. So really well done by Friberg. Good mid-round calling there by NiP, and well, 16-6.
I mean, that's when you can see the best out of NiP, though. It really is confidence. Like, whenever they play against the top tier, they don't believe in themselves. So Friberg doesn't go for those plays. Or maybe he goes for those plays, but he doesn't have anybody behind him, right? He's just trying to make it happen, and then there's nobody there to follow it up. They aren't really playing together. It doesn't click. Here against Liquid, we're seeing like a glimmer of the old style where they go for aggressive mid pushes. They push into upper dark. They're willing to take risks on the CT side. And it's just not something we see enough of today. But we're going to go ahead and let you ponder this real quick, guys. We're going to take a very short break, and we'll come back with our second map here between NiP and Team Liquid.